When I was younger, I couldn't wait to turn 18 so I could finally invest and do other adult financial activities. Although, when I was 17, I realized, wait a minute, I have no clue what I'm doing. So I set out to learn exactly what to do to set myself up for financial freedom. I spent countless hours researching, and today I'm going to share with you everything I learned and the step by step process that I did when I turned 18. I am currently 18 years old, so I feel like I can relate to a lot of you to a certain degree. Make sure you stick around throughout this entire video because I promise you, if you follow these steps, it can really put you years ahead financially. I also want to mention that if you're older than 18, you can still follow these steps. It is never too late to start. The first thing you should do when you turn 18, in my opinion, is going out and getting a credit card. The sooner you do this, the better, and you will see why in a moment. Building a credit score is very important when you want to get a loan for a house or whatever it may be. If you have no credit score and try to buy a house, it is going to be nearly impossible to find a bank that is willing to give you a loan. Why would they want to risk giving money to someone who doesn't have a proven track record of paying their bills on time? What I did as soon as I turned 18 was apply for a credit card with no annual fees. Also, make sure you're paying off your bills in full amounts and on time. For example, if you borrow $100, make sure you can afford to pay that $100 off in time. If you fail to pay off that amount in a full amount on time, it will negatively affect your credit score, which will set you behind. The credit card I got is the Neo Financial MasterCard, and it is linked in the description below if you're interested in it. If you sign up with that link, we both get a $25 bonus. However, don't just go get this credit card because I told you to. It is important to research around for a card that fits you because the best card for me may not be the best card for you. For example, I do not have a car, so I don't really care about a credit card that pays a high cashback percentage on gas. But if you drive everywhere, you might want to find one that pays a high cashback percentage on gas, especially since gas is getting very expensive at the moment. Another benefit of a credit card is that everything you buy is usually at least 1% cheaper. Try and find a card that pays cashback on every purchase you make with the card. You will start by basically having a 1% off or more coupon everywhere you go when you use your credit card. Another bonus step that I want to throw in with this step is to stay out of debt. Student debt or a debt that will make you money in the future is okay, but try and avoid getting into any debt that doesn't have a real purpose. If you can't afford to buy something up front, you probably shouldn't buy or finance it at all. For step number 2, when you turn 18, the next thing you want to do is getting a bank account under your own name. Now, some of you may already have this, but if you don't have this already, I strongly encourage you to do it as soon as possible. I personally use a high interest savings account that pays 1.25% interest, which is way higher than what the big banks like TD Bank and other major banks pay. Once you set up a high interest savings account, any money you have in there will grow by 1.25%, unless there's like a maximum limit. But if you have a maximum limit, you're going to be making a good amount of interest anyway. 1.25% interest is a lot better than what the major banks pay, which is essentially nothing at this point. Now, you don't have to go with a high interest savings account. That's kind of optional. You can open a bank account at a branch location or with a major bank, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. The main point of this step is to get your bank account set up under your own name. Step 3 is going to be opening an investing account. Now, in Canada, for 18-year-olds, I recommend the TFSA or the tax-free savings account. Don't be fooled by the name of this because it is an awful name. It is not a savings account, it is an investing account. If you just simply save inside of this account, nothing's going to happen. Your money's just going to stay the same and technically lose value because of inflation. So you want to invest within this account. Now, if you're from the USA, I recommend a Roth IRA. Both accounts are very similar and they allow you for your investments to grow tax-free. Now, if you are in a different country, research investing accounts for your specific country. There's too many countries to name all of them. But the main idea is you can hold stocks or index funds or a lot of different types of investments within these accounts. Now, that's why I said research your own country's account, because there are a lot of different rules and stipulations that vary quite a bit within these accounts. Now, if you can start investing consistently into a broad market index fund like the S&P 500 or a blue chip stock, I guarantee it will compound into a great amount by retirement. Even starting it with just $10 a week into an index fund, which is about $520 a year, which should be doable, especially if you have a job. This will get you into the habit of investing on a consistent basis at this age. You will be amazed at the benefits that follow in years to come. Now you can gradually also increase this amount as you get more comfortable investing. I know this is probably a lot to take in, but I recommend you watch a full video on the TFSA if you're from Canada or whatever country you're from's investing account. The reason I am telling you to watch a video on your country's account is because there are a lot of small details and rules that you need to be aware of before you begin investing. If you break one of these rules, it could result in a penalty, and I don't want any of you to have that issue. The more research you do, the better, and it's better to do more research than not enough. That is a very important rule when it comes to investing in general, and I think the more you research compound interest in investing, the more you will realize that time is your best friend, and the earlier you start, the better. Step 4. Get a job. Now I know if you're in school, this may be tough, but I'm a full-time student, and after improving my time management skills, I'm able to work a part-time job like 2 days a week on top of school. If you're not in school, then I encourage you to try and find a full-time job. If you have a full-time job at this age and you're able to save 50% and invest that 50% into the stock market responsibly, you'll be set up for success. Now, 50% savings should be pretty doable at this age, and the reason I say only 50%, which usually people would say more, is because you want to enjoy your teenage years. So use the other 50% to spend and enjoy your life, because it is still important to have fun. Now, keep in mind, I'm saying this for the average person. Obviously, some people who have other commitments like sports, etc., are probably not going to be able to work. But don't worry, I have an idea for you as well. Instead, maybe considering starting a side hustle, which is just basically a part-time gig that you guys can do on your own time to make money. There are lots of YouTube videos about good side hustles to do. Just look them up on YouTube and find one that works for you. Step 5. Save your money and change your mindset around it. So think of ways that you can save money in your personal life. For example, tracking your expenses always makes you realize that you're spending money on something that you may not need. Living with parents or someone close to you that maybe won't charge you for rent or will charge you a lower amount for rent, or even moving in with a roommate. I challenge each person watching this video right now to think of one way that they can save a little bit more money and implement it. This could be as simple as, instead of going out and buying Starbucks and paying a premium price, maybe make coffee in the morning. A great way to look at money is that every time you spend $1, you actually spend a lot more than that. Because if you were to invest that dollar rather than spending that, it would actually compound into a larger amount in the future, and it would be a lot larger if it has a lot of time to compound. When you think about money like that, it will really help you. Now, the trick is finding the balance. Like I said earlier, you want to enjoy your teenage years and your early 20s and 20s, because you only go through them once, and there's no point in being as frugal as you can and saving every single dollar, because in my opinion, time is more valuable than money. So you're gonna only have memories like when you're older, and you don't want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I did more when I was a teenager. So finding the balance of saving money and knowing when to spend it and go have fun. Like, don't go partying and go to the bar every night. Like, limit it and save money and still have fun. And I think you'll find a good balance, and it'll really help you. Step 6. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I cannot stress this enough. Go take risks once in a while. Like, don't invest all your money in Shiba Inu, by any means. But what I mean by taking risks is, this is your time to try and start that business that you want to start, or do whatever you want to try and do. This is your time, because as you get older in life, more responsibilities are going to start stacking up, and you're not going to have time to, put as many hours as you would like into those ventures. Just to close out this video, I just want to say that this is not in any way or shape or form financial advice. I'm just an 18-year-old who still has a lot to learn about finance myself. I'm just kind of sharing what I learned, because I watched a lot of these videos like this one, and I'm sharing what I learned and what has been working for me so far. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. See you guys in the next one.